Today I'm sharing how we redid this room.
In 2019, we moved into this 1950s fixer-upper, and I always had it on my list that I wanted to redo this fireplace. This is a very traditional 1950s looking fireplace with the two small shelves, and when we first moved in here, we painted the whole thing white, but the painter for some reason used a very shiny white, which just made it even less attractive. So we wanted to redo this and add a mantle. We started by knocking off one of the shelves, and then my husband designed the mantle. When it comes to projects, I always think safety first. Actually, my husband told me to put all this on, but once I had everything on, I couldn't help but laugh. We essentially made a plastic room around the fireplace, so when we started to knock off that brick, we would not make dust and debris fly through the whole entire house, which has happened in the past. So I wanted to make sure that we were going to catch all that dust and keep it in one area as we did this project. We removed one of the little shelves and then we kept the other one because that was where the mantle was going to go, so it would be covered. We did have to make a structure underneath the final wood piece so it could be sturdy and hold up without falling down if we were to put heavy objects up there. So that's what we were doing here, and this was a certain type of glue that went off really quickly, so we were working together to make this happen as quick as possible before the glue dried and make sure that we were going to get this shelf level. I added several coats of white primer to the brick where we knocked off the shelf, and you could not even tell that there had been a shelf there before. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. And then we were unsure of what color we wanted to paint the brick fireplace. So we started with two paint colors that we already had, a dark blue-green color and then also a light gray color. And once I painted both of these patches, we sat with it for a few days and we decided we didn't like either of those colors, but we wanted a color in between the two. So a little bit darker than the light gray and a little bit lighter and a different shade than the dark blue. So that's when we started looking at colors from Home Depot. As I was working on the inside painting and trying to come up with a design, my husband, Grant, was working on the outer mantelpiece, putting the wood pieces together and designing that whole aspect of the fireplace. And then I finally chose a color. It is called Pumice. I can link it down below or give you the exact name down below. At first we were unsure. It's a very muddy green-gray color. And over time, once we painted the whole thing and let it dry and looked at it, we were happy with the color and it really warmed up the area. So that was something that we ended up being very happy with, but at first we were a little unsure. And here my husband's putting the final piece on the mantle, and it just came together over a few weeks' time. I have a full blog post about this project over on my blog, shannontorrens.com. I will put the link to that down in the description box, where you will find the names of all the paint colors and everything you would maybe have a question about over there. So you can find that again in the description box. Grant is using our paint sprayer to seal the mantle so it won't scratch and it will be water resistant and all of that. And I just feel this is such a beautiful finish. I'm so happy with the way this came out. He is such a great woodworker. I wish I had these skills that he has as a finished carpenter, but it just came out beautifully. I couldn't be any happier with the way this looks. I've just added these chairs that we normally have in our other sitting room over here so I could get the feel of what it would be like to have two chairs here. And it also helped me to realize that these chairs are way too big for this area, but that I do like the feel of having a little sitting area in here. We also added the art back onto the walls that we had on here before we painted this. And I think it was looking a little too crowded over here where I want to have this lamp that I got from the thrift store. So I just took this down. I will find a different place for this and then patch that up. And I'm still looking up ways to either clean this lampshade or I'm gonna have to find a replacement one. Another thing I was a little unsure of was whether I should paint this very bottom area the same color. And after living with this for a little while, like this with the white and the neutral color, I decided that I am going to paint the white. I think it just stands out too much. So I'm gonna get to work on that. And then also Grant still has to officially hook this mantle into the wall. It's just sitting up there. So he's still gonna have to do that before I can do all the final touches on here. Now I can put these chairs back where they go. Our walls are plaster and not drywall in about 90% of our house. There's a few drywall walls, but whenever we put a nail into plaster, it just explodes when you take it out. My mom told me a trick that I should use with tape, so I'll probably be doing that from now on, but I had to patch those walls up. Now we're just moving the table to a different location. Previously, this whole room really consisted of our dining room table, and we were kind of sick of that. We wanted more of a cozy vibe in this room, and we also wanted to split this room up a little bit and not just have it be a humongous dining room. This is such a huge room, so that's what gave us the idea to have more of a sitting area and then have a dining area and just break this room up a little bit since it is such an odd layout. I tried to find as many things as I could secondhand at the antique stores and the thrift stores, but at some point I just want to get a project done. So I ended up ordering this mirror off of Wayfair. It came within 2 days and Grant just pre-hung it before we put the mantle on just to see how it would go. And now he's attaching the mantle and he's caulking around the edges and getting it all sealed up so I can do the final touches with the paint. We did decide to get rid of this rug. We still have it at this point, it's in our garage, but we're not going to need it in this room anymore. We decided to not have a rug under our dining room table anymore, and we will eventually get a smaller rug to go under the sitting area that we're making here. So it all happens with time. Not everything can be done on the first step of a project, but we were able to find 2 really nice chairs. They were from the clearance section at Mathis Brothers. Again, I spent so much time looking for secondhand chairs, and we went to thrift stores and I looked on Facebook Marketplace, and I could not find anything that was in good condition, that was affordable, and that went with our style. So anyhow, we ended up purchasing new chairs. I'm extremely happy with these, and I can't believe they were on clearance. So we did get a really good deal on them as well. But I'm just putting them together here, and you can see the real chaos that happens in our house. It's not always just light music and rainbows and butterflies. It's a lot of craziness. We do have 3 boys. So I'm making the chairs here, and thank goodness I have my mom here to help me a lot of the time, just with these projects and also with my boys. She is just such a huge help, and I know you guys love to see my mom in the videos as well, and so she's here with me as we're doing this. And then I also have my little helper, Levi, here. He loves to be involved in everything that I do, while my other 2 boys are having the best time ever making forts out of the boxes that the chairs came in. So there's always a highlight to every project, and those boxes were definitely the highlight for my boys. They spent hours playing forts and everything else with those boxes. A lot of projects take a while because there's so many little detailed things that have to happen. Now I'm just painting over the paintable caulking, and it took a long time, but I used a really tiny brush so I didn't have to tape anything off, which I actually couldn't have taped it off because it's wiggly around the mantle. But I also used this tiny paintbrush to get into every little nook and cranny on these bricks. It was almost impossible to paint this with a larger brush because it just did not get into the little cracks and divots. Since I had the paint out to cover up the little areas where I patched the wall, I thought, why not paint this corner where a lot of little dirty handprints get smudged on the wall, and it looks so much better. We found this lamp at a thrift store for $17, but I really don't like this lamp shade. It has lots of stains and it's the wrong color. We went to Lamps Plus the other day and I was able to find this more modern lampshade, so I'm going to switch this out. I love this color so much more than the creamy, yellow, dirty lampshade. Okay. My mom is letting us borrow this orange ottoman to see if we like having something here.
And the good thing is this actually opens up and becomes a table.
Oh, that's cool.
You could put your soda there.
We're not sure if we want to have a little coffee table here or an ottoman or what,
Yeah.
or even anything. So this is awesome that we can try this out. And you said you weren't using it?
No, I'm not using it. It's just been put aside. I like it, but we
So
don't
maybe I'll
use
buy
it.
it from you if I like it.
Okay, $5.
Okay, that's a good deal. We have two of these side tables or buffets, whatever we want to call it here. And I think this would look way better over there, and the other one would look better over here. So we're doing the big switcheroo,
Here we go.
and we'll see how it looks. And then eventually I want to repaint these three paintings to be different warmer colors, and that might have to happen at a different time. For the decorations up here, I just gathered a few plants from around my house just for now until I know what I want to have here. And I found these candlestick holders at a thrift store, so that was exciting. I took this plant from a different shelf, and it might go back there, I'm not sure, but I really like the way it looks here. Another thrift store find. I love it.
Our goal here was, again, just to make a cozy space where we could sit, enjoy reading a book that was separate from the TV room. And I feel that we've accomplished this. Our style is pretty unique and eclectic, but I seriously love it. Make sure you're subscribed because I will be continuing to work on this room as well as all the other DIYs that we're doing around our house. I absolutely love the way this turned out. Some of the things I still want to do are get a rug in here and just make a few little changes to the art, things like that. If you enjoyed this video, click here to watch how we redid all the projects in our home for the last few years, or you could click here to see how we redid our backyard, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!